Andrew Twelftree here from Adelaide, South Australia. We're going to quickly run through the Skyway Investment Group compensation plan. So first off, we need to do a disclaimer. We are not licensed to sell shares, as all countries have their own rules on the sale of financial products, so we must respect the laws of the land. Generally speaking, most countries allow the sale of information products without a special license, so that's where we find our niche in the market. So what we sell are educational information products, and as a gift for participating in those educational programs, we are gifted PIPEs, which are pre-IPO private equity shares in Skyway's technology. So IPO stands for pre-initial or initial public offering, which is when the shares hit the public share market for people to buy. So we don't give financial advice, and do your own due diligence. So have a read through that, but let's get into it. Who are we? We are Skyway's investment group. It was initiated by Andre Harato, and what we do is we sell financial and investment education, and in return, we are gifted shares into the Skyway technology as it's rolling out across the planet. So a very unique system, and something that it's really exciting actually once you get into it. Why crowdfunding? So why did Skyways go to Andre and say, look, why don't we crowdfund for the construction of the Ecotech Park, which we're talking about? We go through that in the opportunity meeting. That is because the big general ways of funding it are going to joint venture partners and so forth, and they just wanted too big a stake in the actual company. So what they tried it as a trial initially, and they were able to generate a lot of money for a very small percentage of the company, but it gives us, the mums and dads, a way to get in where the big boys usually only get to play. So it's really exciting in that aspect. And we can get these PIPEs or shares at a huge discount. We've got many different educational packages. We can buy them one-off, we can buy them in instalments, and there are a few promotional packs. And at this stage, we are getting a discount of 1 to 75 up to 1 to 160. So $1 at the low end buys you $75 worth of shares, and at the high end, $160 worth of shares for $1, okay? So that's just a guide. Now, as we work through the stages, there are 15 stages, those discounts will decrease. So we are in the unique opportunity to accumulate a lot of PIPEs, of shares, before they get discounted further and obviously hit the public. So here's a guide. So for 10, you can start this with as little as $10, okay? For that, you get 80 shares. So you get 8 to 1 for money invested. So if we come up and invest $250, you get 17,500 shares, which is 70 shares per dollar. 1,000, you get 90 shares per dollar, and anything above that, you get better than $1 a share for the PIPEs. So and there are several examples, many different packs where you can buy them as a one-off, or you can pay them off over 10 months, okay? Once you get into that, they're all there. So what we'll do is run through the business opportunities. This is what we're really doing this video about, okay? So how is it going to benefit us? There's 6 ways to make money. What you can do today is build and network a team, in effect, that obviously helps fund these projects. Now, we'll get into that a little bit more in a moment, but later on down the track, you can become a company rep for a country, because we're still opening up in different countries. If you go ahead and become the leader for that country, you can obviously head that up and get paid to do so. You can get a percentage of all the contracts that come in that country, and you can actually initiate projects with the governments around the world, and you get a huge chunk there. Now, in the future, when this goes public, the shares that we accumulate now will turn into real dollars. Now, the numbers are there's 400 1,087,000,000 shares in total in Skyways. For 3 years ago, it was valued at $400 billion with all the patents and intellectual property is the words I was looking for. So not only will those shares, after a short grace period, be able to be sold and cashed in for real money, you can hang on to them and get paid dividends for everyone that pays a fare on one of these transport systems around the world. Those dividends will line up and be a significant passive income that will be willed to your kids. So let's talk about initially the network. How do you make money in your network? Now, I'll quickly run through this slide and then I'll explain the levels just below. It's an incentivised crowdfunding program. So whenever anyone purchases an educational package in your network, you get paid a commission. You can start out with as little as $10, okay, and become a partner. Now, a partner gets 8% of any purchases made on their first level, 7% on their second, and 3% on their third. Okay, to become a fully fledged partner, a fully qualified partner, you need to have invested $200, but you don't need to initially, and don't see that as a barrier to get started and building a team, because you actually get paid these percentages even before you're a fully qualified partner. So then once you move to agent, which is really easy, and that's basically finding two partners below you, you actually get a larger percentage on your third level and you actually get part of your fourth level. Okay, once you reach consultant, you obviously get the same as what you did with agent, but you also get money on your fifth level and down to infinity. Okay, so 6 and down. But you get anywhere between 1.5% to 3% from level 6 downwards. Manager, the same, but in depth you get a bigger percentage. Same with leader, top manager, VIP and president. So as you go up the ranks, the depth payments get larger and larger. Now, if you can imagine, when you get a team rolling and it takes on a life of its own, the bigger numbers in your team will be down in depth. That's where the money comes from. If you start getting 7 and 8% on thousands of people who are buying educational packages, that will add up to significant money, okay? So let's quickly run through the levels as they stand at the minute. First level is a partner. That's where you come in and build yourself up to 200 units worth of educational investments, okay? And that's and you can do that out of your commissions if you want, but many people are coming in straight up with the 200, so they get qualified straight off the bat. Easy to do. The next rank up is agent, where you get a higher percentage on your third level and a payment on your fourth level. It's as simple as bringing in the opportunity, sharing two people that reach the $200 qualified partner level. That's it, okay? I did that in my first day. So let's go down to the next one, consultant. That is where you have 4 different lines with an agent in each line. 2 of those need to be personal. The other 2 can be down in depth if need be. So that can be done with as little as for 12 people. Okay, basically I'm 2 people away from hitting that within the first couple of weeks. Okay, so really starting to get momentum. I'm down to levels 3 and 4 now on a couple of legs. It's really starting to explode. So from consultant, that's where you reach infinity depth payments, okay? So if we look at the next one is the manager, that is where you've got 4 consultants in 4 different lines. 2 personal and 2 can be in depth if they need to be. So, and you can't have 4 consultants in 2 legs, you've got to spread it out 4 wide. So that's where you get up to 3 and 4% on level 6 down, and all of the percentage remain the same. Obviously, to reach leading manager, you need 4 managers. Same thing. So basically, if you've got a team that's growing, this will be a natural progression. And obviously, the higher up the ranks, the bigger the investment you need to make. But that's cool because you get the pipes, which is what we're really all here for, is to accumulate those. Okay, and obviously that's where you get 4 to 5% from the depth. And then once you get up to top manager, obviously you need 4 managers in your team and a larger investment. That's where you get 5 to 6% in depth. And if we keep going down, the next one is advisor of the president. Okay, that's where you've got 4 leading managers in your team, which again is a natural progression once you've set up the base. And at that stage, you get 6 to 7% from level 6 down. And then obviously once you reach the top, you're the president level where you've got 4 president's advisors. Okay, and that's where you get 7 to 8% from depth. That's where you are on insane money. Okay, those are the levels. Basically, at the start, you need to build a little bit of width, get 4 legs that are growing, and then you can build in depth and really help those teams grow out and really get up and running. Now, there are a couple of ways you can jump up the ladder. There are 2 really good options at the moment. One is Express Consultant. Again, like I said, you can start for as little as $10. But if you have the funds, you can spend $3,500 and you will get 400,000 pipes. Now, 3 years ago, they were valued at $1 per pipe. But that's before they had the infrastructure they've got now and the contracts they've got in place. So I'm not going to say a figure, but it's likely going to be way more than $1. You actually get a master profi training with that, where they actually put you up for accommodation and food for 3 days and give you master training on investments and wealth creation, okay? And it basically puts you straight to the infinity depth, the compensation plan. The next one is Express Manager, where you jump right up to near the top of the compensation plan. You get for $20,000, 3 million pipes. Okay, that's about 120 to 1 or thereabouts. All right, so you spend 20 grand and you get 120 times that value of shares. So if you've got the funds, definitely that's the way to go. So, and again, you get the Master Profi training and you get to initiate projects straight off the bat. So if you know someone at Movie World or the local government or something that you can talk to these people about, you can go ahead and talk to them and initiate a project, okay? In Adelaide at Flinders University, this is my hometown, okay? Rod Hook, the ex-Transport Minister for South Australia in the government, me being an engineer, I actually worked on a couple of projects and know Rod. Okay, so he's implemented a tram system through Adelaide in the past. He is driving this project. He wants Skyways to build one of these, being the first one in the Southern Hemisphere in Adelaide, which will, 1, be a tourist attraction and 2, be a demonstration centre basically for all of Asia. Once this thing hits the ground, Skyways will explode. We have the unique opportunity now to really get in and build up a team and some equity shares before this hits the ground. This is likely to be built this year and completed this year, okay? And this is one of the major stepping stones to be completed before we actually go to public launch. Now, they are also, they've done a deal with the United Arab Emirates to build a high-speed train between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Now, wouldn't that be high profile, okay? It's effectively going to be our testing and demonstration facility, but once certifications are all complete and that train is live, you think we're going to get some exposure and you think that other countries around the world will want one of these also, okay? A lot of things happen first in Dubai, okay? So that's where we are. It's exciting stuff. The compensation plan is insane. Now, I'll just let you in on this. At the moment, we are funding for the Ecotech Park and likely the high-speed one in Dubai instead of being built at the Ecotech Park in Belarus. There will be other projects. I suspect highly that the Adelaide project will be put up for funding so we can invest in an educational program and get gifted shares for part ownership of the Adelaide project. It won't be the last one. There will be a string of projects that will be offered through our system, and if you've got an existing team out there and 90% of them want to have part ownership of a project, they all invest, you get an instant payday because you've already built the team, the network, it's there. So every time they build a new project in or bring a new project in, you get an instant payday. This thing is mind-blowing at the possibilities. There will be multi-millionaires made out of this in the coming years. I kid you not. It's really opened my mind to possibilities, and it's really opening a few others as well. So for now, that's Andrew out. Get back to the person who shared this video with you. Get their link and get involved, guys. Get involved. This is exciting stuff. So for now, Andrew out. Bye-bye.